Live from the Ed McMahon Center, this is the Q30 News Nightcast.
Good afternoon, Quinnipiac, and welcome to the Q30 Newscast. I'm John Alba.
And I'm Kristen Campetta. Boston police have arrested a man in connection with a suspicious backpack left near the finish line of the Boston Marathon yesterday.
Officials and losing to them in a close game is something you really don't want to see going into the tournament, but the Siena game really showed what this team can play and really showed how they can play. So I think they can take good and bad away from this weekend, but they're certainly going to have to play a little better coming in.
You know, when you get a pass, it's off the dribble, and when we need to discuss basketball, we bring in an analyst. And with that, Arthur Lane joins us to talk Quinnipiac basketball. Arthur, let's start off with the undefeated women's team. Frankly, why have they been so good?
Well, John, I think that you have to look at Felicia Barron first and foremost, averaging 17.3 points a game and also getting 4 steals has been huge. But this year, I think they have a lot more of a balanced attack. You look, we saw Sam Gostella have a huge game against Yale. Jasmine Martin's been playing all year. So I think that they have a more balanced attack this year, which is why they're doing so well. They also forced 23 turnovers a game. They only turned the ball over 14 times. That's a pretty good ratio to me.
Communications Center at Quinnipiac University. This is QNN, the Quinnipiac News Network.
Good evening and welcome to QNN. I'm Mike Ijashi.
And I'm Mark Spillane. It has been a tight election race this season, and the Quinnipiac community is speaking up.
Good evening and welcome to QNN. I'm Elijah Westbrook.
And I'm Ashley Cuss. The brave men and women who serve our country.
Good evening and welcome to QNN. I'm John Alba.
And I'm Mark Spillane. 1 week from tomorrow will be shopping's biggest day of the year.
Good evening and welcome to QNN. I'm Sarah Fidel.
And I'm Giovanni Mio. 3 of the past 9 days have been canceled at Quinnipiac because of the snow.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Stephanie Fasano.
And I'm Isabella Roman. We're starting with breaking news tonight. A Quinnipiac University employee fell to her death while helping 2 drivers on Interstate 91 in New Haven.
It happened early this morning. According to NBC Connecticut, police said Lauren Moore stopped to help the drivers who were involved in a crash. While trying to help, Moore jumped out of the way because she thought a car was coming and fell over a concrete wall, falling 40 feet. She was pronounced dead at Yale New Haven Hospital. Moore was a temporary undergraduate admissions aide at Quinnipiac.
Thanks, guys. Quinnipiac's Giovanni McLean is suspended indefinitely after being deemed academically ineligible. The junior transfer point guard will be allowed to stay at the school, but he cannot practice or play with the team. The former Westchester Community College star had offers to go play at the University of Oklahoma. However, grades kept him from being Big 12 eligible. McLean is the 4th former WCC basketball player to be deemed ineligible for their new school in the recent weeks. And finally, guys, a story outside of Quinnipiac. Lauren Hill never thought she would play in a collegiate basketball game. But on Sunday, the freshman forward with inoperable brain cancer did just that. Hill started the game for the Division III Mount St. Joseph's College and scored 4 points. Hill was diagnosed with having no more than a month to live, so her school petitioned for their first game to be moved to an earlier date so she could play in it. Guys, she was named HCAC Player of the Week and has her face on her own Wheaties box. A tremendous story.
Thank you, Jordan. Now, Mark, what do you do when you ask somebody to dance and they say no?
Well, Ike, if you're West Virginia news anchor Dan Thorne, you just dance anyway. Thorne's recent videos of his dancing antics at his studio have gone viral. He can be seen putting on sunglasses and lip-syncing to James Brown, rapping along with T.I., and even stealing his co-anchor's iPad to use as a prop. Though Thorne's co-anchor doesn't dance along, she said she doesn't mind it, and she said, quote, "That's just who Dan is."
See, there's nothing wrong. It's just a little two-step. That's what it's all about.
He had fun with it.
Just
We're having fun with it. He had fun with it.
Little shoulders never hurt anybody.
You should be a dancer.
I think I am.
An anchor and a dancer.
Why not? I'm Mike Ijashi, and thanks for joining us for the QNN News.
And I'm Mark Spillane. We'll be back next week with more news from around Quinnipiac and the local community.
Originally, I was just going to do the $10,000 and do one scholarship and be done with it. But after getting a couple donations, I really loved the idea of helping others. So right now that money's kind of sitting, and we're just going to wait to make it a sustainable business. So right now we just started setting up a website. We're going to make sure we do more events and just expand the reach of Have a Heart to help more people.
People treat everything today as, quote, information, unquote.
It's news, but in comedy form. It's just sort of like taking medicine with some sugar. It makes it a little easier to perceive, so to speak.
I think if that's the only platform that you're turning to find news, you're missing out on a lot.
Quinnipiac's School of Communications boasts a nearly 89% total placement rate, with roughly 70% of the class of 2013 currently being employed.
We're able to say, well, look at the placement statistics. Look at where our students are interning. Look at where students are getting jobs. We can say these things confidently and have the data to back it up. I mean, the numbers don't lie.
Individual schools within UConn and Yale also have high placement percentages. Southern Connecticut State's Career Services website even has a section titled Jobs in a Tough Economy.
You make an enormous investment into this college education. We want you to make really informed decisions. You find yourself not at the end of 4 years saying, I should have done this.
The snap of the ball, the clashing of bodies, the roar of the crowd, all lead to an exciting night at the local football field. But under the glimmering Friday night lights, something more sinister lies in the shadows.
There's been a point of emphasis to try to avoid concussions as much as possible. That's why we go with no helmet-to-helmet contact and that sort of thing. That we try to be as safety conscious as possible when we're on the ball field.
Knowing the potential risks of playing a contact sport like football, would a parent feel comfortable sitting in the stands as their child takes the field?
If I were to have a child, I don't think in good faith I could actually send my son out there to play.
If they were high school age, I would discourage them, but if you want to play, you're making a decision there. I would try to make sure that they were as safe